Hey guys, happy baby name Monday. It's SJ. If you are new to my channel, I do a new baby name list on YouTube every single Monday. So if you're pregnant, if you know someone who's pregnant, if you just love baby names like me, then please do hit subscribe because you will get a new list every single Monday. And if you're already subscribed, I would love it if you would share this with a friend you think might like these videos as well. Had a really sweet message from a midwife who's apparently been recommending this to all of her pregnant, I think said patients, all of her pregnant ladies, which is so cool, isn't it? So I've always loved naming babies, and this week is one of my favorite lists. It is Verity names, and the names on this list are perfect because I love baby name meanings anyway, and of course what could have more stronger meanings than virtue names. So this was a very popular trend back in the Puritan times when they really loved, about 20% of parents apparently used to name their baby something that really meant something, that they wanted to instill on their child a quality or a moral, and it's really coming back into fashion again. I think when there's ever sort of political unrest or anything like that, this is such a strong trend. The names are also just gorgeous and so vintage. Girl names are easier on this list, I will say. The boy names are harder. I've made one up. You'll be happy to know I've got a random wild card in here. And also I wanted to do a giveaway. So a gorgeous brand called Mother England has these beautiful muslin cloths. Evelina always sleeps with a little muslin. I've ordered her this pink peony one. I will pop a picture of it because I've got my light on so you probably can't see it. And I also got one for you guys of a grey feather. I think it is a really fitting thing for this theme and also just beautiful. I did a giveaway a few weeks ago, and I always want to find new gorgeous items that you would love for your child, your baby to be, friends, kids. So if you would love to win yourself a Mother England muslin cloth, they are beautifully made, all by a lovely mum. Just click subbed and entered in the description box below. Make sure you are subscribed. I will have to check. And also I'm going to double run this on Instagram because I really want you to go over there and follow Mother England on Instagram, because she is a startup business doing this by herself at home, and I just love businesses like that. I love supporting them if I can. So you will get a double entry if you also go to her Instagram and write SJ Comp. She will have a little post there that you can see, and then I personally will be sending this out to you from my house to yours with my love. So yes, let's get on with the list. So the first name is a girl's name. I'm going to go girl boy, and it's the name Verity. I love the name Verity. It is so vintage because it was quite popular a few years ago, and it's becoming less popular, but it's still at number 354 here in the UK. Apparently it's very popular in Australia. So if you're watching in Australia, let us know if that's true, because I don't have your stats. I love it. I love the sound of it. It is so on trend, with Olivia being the #1 name for so long. But if you love Olivia and it's been pinched, Verity is such a good option, and it means truth, and that is so fundamental, isn't it? And it's such a beautiful name meaning. I think, as I said, when there are times of unrest, these names become so much more popular. So I'd be really interesting to see if this has gone up. I don't know a little Verity. I could see Evelina as a Verity. That's my daughter. With names like Evie being so popular, the V being so popular, it is such a cool one. There's also a Damien Hirst bronze statue called Verity. So Liberty could easily have been on this list as well, obviously after the Statue of Liberty. But what's cool about this one is it's in Devon, so it's a British one, and it's called Verity instead. It looks quite a lot like the Statue of Liberty, well, I guess deliberately, not like by any accident, but it's beautiful actually. I really like it. Or do you think it might divide opinion? But I think it's really lovely to know that there is that beautiful statue. And it could also rise because it's a character in the really popular series Poldark. I don't watch Poldark. I know I should. My best friend is obsessed and she goes on at me all the time about watching it. But yeah, so Verity is one of the cousins in Poldark. What do you think of the name Verity? So number 2 is a name for boys that I really like, and I only ever put names on my list that I love, and it's the name Noble. I really like Noble, and I think it's really wearable. I don't know why. Maybe it's a little bit, just sounds more like a name. It reminds me of the bookstore Barnes and Noble, even though we don't have that in the UK. It's an American store, and it's a surname first name, so maybe that kind of makes it a little bit more wearable and cool. I just really like it. It means aristocratic. It just sounds really hipster and trendy, I think, particularly as like a middle name. Then they can have a bit of a quirky, bit of a character name if they want to go with that when they're a bit older. It also means having fine personal qualities and morals. If you're a very noble character, it means you are somebody who thinks about what their actions and does right things. So I think that that's a beautiful thing for a boy. It is also, I found, the name of a former English gold coin that was issued in 1351 was called a noble, which I think is really, really cool as well. A bit like sterling or something like that, which is a popular name now. What would you think about the name noble? Would you go for it? I definitely would. I think it is so cool. And some of these might be a bit quirky choices that maybe hit a middle spot. So actually one of the most popular, still popular virtue names is the name Constance. I love the name Constance. It is so lovely. It's at number 244, but the nickname Connie is even more popular, and that's at number 143. And it's a bit like a Lottie or something like that. Connie is very, very wearable. And I actually had an aunt, Connie, and I can't believe I never considered this as a nickname because it is so vintage and very hipsterish, by which I mean it's quite on the outskirts but kind of just about to get trendy, I think. And it's very literary and it's out there, so once you start seeing things on Netflix, so it's in Gossip Girl, there's a Constance. It's also the first name of Lady Chatterley and Lady Chatterley's lover, who I wouldn't say is named for her virtues, because Constance means to be steadfast and to be very strong and steady and self-willed, and I really like that, especially for a girl. It feels like a strong virtue meaning, doesn't it, rather than like a ultra feminine one. I also love the fact that apparently Oscar Wilde's wife was called Constance. I'm such a huge Oscar Wilde fan, and also Mozart's wife was called Constance, and she went by the nickname Stanzi, which I think is really pretty. Reminds me of a floral name, pansy or something like that. So Constance is an amazing one. So a great boy name that shows up, a lot of these names you find from passenger lists of people emigrating from England to the New World, and that was the name Ames. I really like it. I think Amos is quite trendy at the moment, and Ames is a little bit more unusual but great one, and it comes from the French ami, so it means good friend, which I think is a beautiful name meaning, but it also sounds like somebody who has aims and goals in that way as well, so it's kind of got a double virtue meaning in that way. But for me, I just love the look of it, I love the sound of it, I love boy names that end in an S. I think they're really, really gentle and lovely. Obviously the name James is one of our favourite names here in the UK, so is Ames a bit similar but different? Does it sound like you've just missed off the J? I'm not sure, because to me I just saw it and fell in love. So number 5 is a girl's name, and it's one I really like, and that is the name Truly. So of course the Kardashians have a lot to give us in terms of baby name trends. They've kind of started this kind of revival of the virtue trends with Saint, which could be a virtue name. True Kardashian is the name of Khloe Kardashian. I think it's my favourite. Obviously there's Stormy, which almost sounds like a virtue, because some of the virtue names were also quite negative, to kind of be like a bit like fear of God as well. But I absolutely love the name True. I think because of Truly Scrumptious from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. It was one of my all-time favourite movies, and funny thing was that Evelina took her first steps while we watched Chitty Chitty Bang Bang to that song, so it was quite cute, wasn't it? That it's like really weird when you think about yourself as a child watching that if you'd have known that one day your daughter would take her first steps to that moment. I think things like that all the time, but obviously it is a beautiful name, and we kind of can go anywhere with baby names. There is literally no hold bars, and if you love it, go for it. And I think it is beautiful. I love the fact that Khloe Kardashian chose it because it was a family name. It was her great grandfather's first name, and it was her grandfather's middle name. So she said as soon as she heard it, it just stuck in her mind. She wanted to use it, and her baby is so beautiful. She's my favourite Kardashian. I do watch the Kardashians, do you? Obviously I watch Revenge Body all the time. I think that Truly, oh, I really love it. So this next one is an interesting one because it's very gender neutral. I've put it on my boy list, but it's more popular for girls, and so I would love to know in the comments below what you think, and that is the name Sage. So I love the name Sage. It hits so many trends. Obviously it means wise, which is why it hits a virtue names list, but obviously it's also a herb, so it could have that whole herb food kitcheny thing going for it as well. And that's why I think I've always thought of it as a boy's name, because its definition is of a wise old man or learned philosopher, but it's more popular actually for girls. And actually I have a friend who just had a baby called Sage, or a friend, Instagram, someone I follow. Seems like a friend. But yeah, so 11 girls were called Sage in 2016, but no boys. I think it's a beautiful meaning to bestow on your own child, because there's nothing nicer than being wise, being learned, being thoughtful, and I just think it sounds cool. It's a bit like Seth, that one syllable kind of coolness about it. What do you think of Sage? Another interesting thing I found about sage was that smudging is a practice for purification that used to be done with sage. So yeah, it's got a bit of a purity meaning to it as well. So last up for girls is a name that I think is going to boom soon. Oh, that is the name Charity. Obviously because of The Greatest Showman. If you haven't seen The Greatest Showman, it is the true story of Phineas, which I think also is coolest name ever. Phineas Barnum and his wife Charity Barnum, portrayed by Michelle Williams. Charity is a name that was really popular, but literally it doesn't rank anymore. That's quite sad, so it's gone totally out of fashion. It needs to come back. It is beautiful. It's taken from the original meaning of it was Christian love, and of course we know it as charity, giving to charity. Faith and Hope are obviously really common name, Charity less so. The real story of Charity Barnum was, yes, she did marry him. She was 21, he was 19. They actually had 4 daughters, only 3 of whom survived until adulthood. So funny that they chose in the movie just to do the 2. And I just think that that movie is so popular, it's bound to bring that name back onto our radar. What do you think of it? Does it still sound odd to you? Maybe because it's become so well known as just a word? And charity shops and giving to charity, does it seem less of a name because of that? Or do you agree with me that maybe because of The Greatest Showman it's going to come back into fashion? And last up for boys. Okay, so this is where I go a bit wild. I was looking for all the boy names. I thought, what name do I really like that isn't showing on any of these lists that I was looking at online and doing my research about Puritan names? And I actually really liked the name Bravery. I did find that one actor, Benjamin Bratt, who you may have heard of, he had a son, Matteo Bravery, which I think is nice. He used it in the middle and I thought that's really nice. And then I was thinking about this Puritan trend where they used to put 2 words together. And that was a huge trend. So some of the ones I found were, oh yes, they used to call their children things like Fear God or Lovejoy, which is one you may have heard of, Make Peace, and things like that. And the other one was Hope Still. Like they put these 2 words together and give those to a baby, and I thought that's quite a cool trend. And one that popped into my mind was the name Braveheart, and I love Bravery and I love Heart as a name, and I thought actually together they're really lovely. It's a really famous Scottish name or nickname. We all think of it as William Wallace from the movie Braveheart, but he actually wasn't the one nicknamed Braveheart, which is interesting. It was Robert the Bruce who was nicknamed Braveheart, and that all came from the first Battle of Scotland to get their independence. I just think it is lovely. I don't think it is the first name, but as a middle name, I love the meaning of it, and I think it's a very Puritan type of name to bestow on a child, that you want them to have a really brave heart and to have courage. And I just really liked it and thought I would share it with you. You might all think I'm bonkers, let me know below. I thought, do you reckon this name is even like banned in Scotland? Like, is it like a bit of a joke name up there that I'm recommending? But I just really think it is strong, sweet, beautiful sentiment to give to a child, and wanted to share it. Also to let you know that on Thursday this week I have a bonus baby name video going live, and it is the Scottish baby names. Lots and lots of people have asked me for Scottish baby names, and I'm doing it with one of my favourite mummy vloggers who is Scottish. So let me know in the comments below if you can guess who it could be. She's somebody I think you all absolutely love, so definitely make sure to hit the bell to come back on Thursday. Subscribe to see that video with a very popular Scottish mummy vlogger. Oh yes, that's all of them. I went to do some more and I've done them all. So I absolutely love this list. As I said, virtue names to me are so brilliant because they sound amazing. They sound interesting. They make you think twice. They make you ask another question, don't they? And they're just super beautiful as well. Don't forget, if you do want to win yourself and your child a beautiful Mother England muslin, then just pop subbed and enter in the comments below. Comment on the name list as well, because I still want to have the little gossip. And I'll make sure you are entered if you don't have Instagram. If you do have Instagram, do head over to Mother England's Instagram page. I will link it below, so just click on there. It will take you to Instagram, and on the corresponding post, which will probably be me with one of these, just popped SJ Comp, and I will give you a double entry. I will pick the names out and I will be announcing it next Monday on Baby Name Monday, when I will actually already be in Sweden for the summer. We're going for 3.5 weeks, so I'm excited to share with you what it's like over there. any requests, do pop them below. Don't forget to share this with a friend you think might enjoy it, and lots of, I think I said baby name love. Does that even make sense? Lots and lots of love, guys. Bye.